a piece of free outdoor power equipment, and you'll never guess where we're picking it up from. The local nudist camp. So there's 2 nudist camps out here near my shop, and a guy called me and said that he's got an old generator and I can have it for free if I just come and pick it up. So we're gonna go to the nudist camp and pick up this generator, take it back to the shop, see if we can get it working. Here's one of the nudist camps right here. This isn't the one we're going to, but that's one of them. Now, we've been having a lot of storms come through here lately, and it's been knocking the power out. So a generator, you know, people want when the power's out. And a lot of times, you don't have enough generators when the power's out, and other times they just sit. So here's the other one right here. This is the one we're going to. So as I was saying, when the power goes out, you know, everybody's bringing generators in because they've been sitting. They don't run from old gas. And then they're like looking for generators, and it's like, I don't have any used ones. And then power comes back on, and the next thing you know, I'm sitting on all these generators until we have the next storm. Now, they're not gonna let us film in here, so Mr. Cameraman, you're gonna have to get out with your camera, because you can't go in there with me, because I gotta take my clothes off first. No, clothing's optional. I'll have my clothes on. There it is. A Generac 4000 EXL. Looked like it'd been sitting outside for quite a while. I hope it puts out juice, but you know, it is free. So let's take it back to the shop and see if we can get it going and see if it'll put out juice. All right, Mr. Cameraman. Put your clothes back on and jump in the truck. So to keep in theme with this, I'm gonna be repairing this video totally naked. No, I'm gonna have my clothes on. Trick ya. So as I mentioned in the truck, we've had some storms come through here. And I've got lots of generators to work on. We've already fixed a bunch of them and they've already left. So that's why when he called and said I could have this generator, I thought, hey, if we can get it running and going, next time there's a storm or whatever, I'll just sell it. Otherwise, they sit here. When there's no storm, then they sit. Same with snow blowers. If we're getting a lot of snow, you don't have enough snow blowers. When it ain't snowing, you can't get rid of them. Same with generators. All right, the first thing I want to do is see if it's going to start, and if it does, if we can get it running on some dinosaur farts, and if it does lick off, run and die, the next thing I want to do is see if it's going to put out any electricity, because this thing's old, this old Generac. I know you can still get some parts for them, but you know, if it's got a bad stator or a bad field winding, that's going to be kind of difficult to fix because I'd have to find a used one. It does have electric start, this one, so that's a good thing. And we'll find out if this electric start works. Here's the wires for it. So I'm going to remove the air filter cover. you can get at the Carburetor. Air filter's pretty clean, but again, it's a generator. Generators don't run in dirty conditions, and as you can see, this thing had been outside for quite a while. You can see it's all weathered. It's got a metal gas tank. Let me get my light. Oh yeah, look at the gas tank. Where's my better light? That gas tank is shot. It's all rusty and nasty. Now I think I might have one of these generators. I don't know if it's the same model, but I think I've got one out in the boneyard. I'll have to go and look. So if we do need some parts, I might be able to steal some parts off of it. So let me get my jumper battery. And let's see if this electric start works. Let me just try clamping that to there to get a little better. Now, and of course this negative. Let me cut that insulation off of there. So we can expose this terminal. There we go. I'd rather have a better, tighter connection to it. That's why I want to get more tension on this clamp by doing it this way. All right, let's see if this thing will crank over. Oh, wow. Noisy. Get some gel lube. Spray a little gel lube on this Bendix when it kicks out. That quieted it up right now. Gel lube, if you haven't got some, you need to get some. We sell it in our online store. All right. So now I can feed it. Wow. I mean, this thing was just sitting outside. It wasn't covered or anything. Oh, my negative popped off. So let me feed it, and then Mr. Cameraman, watch and tell me if those lights go on, because I'm not going to be able to see them from where I'm going to be standing feeding this thing if it starts. So Mr. Cameraman, give me the thumbs up if it's putting out juice. Let me get these tools off of here so they don't vibrate off. All right, you ready? Fire, Scarecrow! Fire! Fire, Scarecrow! That makes for a better video. Alright, Mr. Cameraman, get back over there. This time I'm going to get some water ready. Well, I had some water here that I was sipping on. I could have used that. But I was in panic mode. Oh, yeah! It lit up, huh? Good. Hey, this is a good find. All right. Well, I don't like that gas tank because it's all rotted. So let me Let me go out in the junkyard and see if I got a generator that's got maybe a plastic gas tank on it or another good metal one. I'll be right back. Well, I went out and I looked at one of them sheds I've got out here, and sure enough, I found one, and it's tagged. It says that it's ours, and it says no output. So the generator part has got a problem where it's not putting out electricity. And it's not an electric start one. So, and it's got a plastic tank. So I'm gonna pull this plastic tank off and stick it on that one, because people want those electric start ones. They don't want to sit there and be pulling. They want to be hitting the button. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this generator here looks like it'd been sitting outside longer than that other one. But these bolts are all rusted on there, so I'm gonna cut them off. Okay, I removed the old rusty tank, which, you know, could be sealed, could be cleaned and sealed, but I don't want to go through that process. That's a lot of work when I got a plastic one here. So let's see if it'll fit. Here it's got this tray in here with this piece of insulation in there. Oh, it fits. So all I got to do is just drill 4 new holes and then hook up the gas line. So yeah, it fits. Yeah, there's the tray. The only difference is it says XL, this says EXL, which means electric start. But yeah, it's got that piece of insulation in there. The holes are in the same position. So I'll just use this one over. Pull this little plug off, this little cap. Pull this little plug out here, this little stopper. Okay. Can I move this a little? Yeah, it'll move. Because it's got this little exhaust. It's got this little baffle on there for the exhaust. But if you notice, they're the same engines. Looks like it's got the same muffin on there. It looks like this one's just tweaked a little bit. Here's some more leads in there. So I don't know why I just don't use this one. I can slide it easier. All right. So there, it fits. Now I can just mark these holes here. It makes it a lot simpler. Sure, it doesn't matter which one I use. Now I can drill them holes and mount the tank. And then all we need to do then is probably just clean the carburetor. All right, I'm gonna take a peek inside the carburetor. Oh, that's not good. Well, not too bad, I guess. The only problem with this old Generac stuff, I don't know if they make a knockoff Carburetor, because I'm sure Generac don't make a OEM one, and if they do, it's probably very expensive. But I can remember these things, this model generator coming into my brother Farrell's shop with leaky carburetors, and we couldn't get them to quit leaking. The only way to fix it was to put a new carburetor on it, and that had to be in the early 90s. And I remember the valve keepers would break on these things too all the time. They'd come in for that. So the only thing that fixed it would be to put a new carburetor on it. And again, I don't know if the Chinese make a knockoff one for this. And if they do, like a lot of times when you buy some of that knockoff stuff, they tell you it fits it, and then you get it and something's different about it. But here's the main jets right here on the side. It's right here. So that seems to be clear. I'm just worried about it leaking. So I'm just going to do a quick. And then I'm sure, because we didn't show this on camera, but I'm sure a lot of you, because you always want to point out things. Just because you point out things doesn't mean that we didn't do it. I did check the oil. Alright? Plus it's got a low oil shutdown feature on it. But I did check the oil. It does have oil in it. Let's see. Oh yeah, the nozzle. The nozzle looks pretty clear up through the center. I don't know if the cameraman can see it. And then they always got this little rubber plug to block off this one hole in the carburetor. So let me just kind of blow that out a little bit. I think this was the low oil shutdown thing, which they had disconnected. It might be bad, but it was full of oil. Let's see, is throttle shaft stuck? No, throttle shaft's moving. So let me lightly blow that out with some air, and spray some carb spray in there a little bit, and put that gas tank on there, and fingers crossed it doesn't leak. Fingers crossed we don't have a leaky needle and seat. This hinge pin, this thing seems to be frozen. And I'm sure that other carburetor over there is probably trashed. Is this coming out? Yeah, it is. Make sure the needle ain't stuck in there. Now, this looks like that Briggs needle. And I've got some of these. Let me see, is there a big groove in it? No, not really. No, that needle looks good. Just worried the tip might have been coming off. Alright. Well, a little air in there because there's some flakiness. Alright, we'll put it all back together. And Put some dinosaur juice in it. I can get the needle to, there we go. This is probably the end of it with the pliers. Yeah, there we go. There's our dinner. And now it's starting to loosen up. Gotta give it a little tap. I spray some carb spray on there. Get my little wire brush. I should have a new bowl gasket for it. Put a new bowl gasket on there. Just kind of get some of that stuff off of there. Alright, we find a bowl gasket. Put the bowl back on. Get 4 bolts. Bolt the gas tank on. Since I got this off, might as well go ahead and replace this fuel line. Alright, so the bowl gasket looks like that common Walbro bowl gasket that many brakes and scrap them, push mower engines use, lawn tractor carburetors use this same kind of bowl gasket. It's very common and popular. So here's the part number, 92-294-8. And it also works on this one. It fits in there perfect. There it is. See it? There's your dinner. So just in case you got one of these generators and you go to your local outdoor power equipment dealers, which I keep hearing all these stories more and more, don't know what they're doing or what they have or what fits and what doesn't fit and what works and what doesn't work. Not all of them, but I hear from a lot of people because we get calls every day from people and hundreds of emails a week. And we can't help everybody what they're like. Yeah, I went there and they said they didn't know and they couldn't help me. Well, you can go in there and say, hey, I got this Generac generator. I need this 92-294-8 Walbro Carburetor bowl gasket. Do you guys stock them? And if they say no, then just go on the inner screen and get it. Get a bag of 10 of them. That way you'll have more than enough. Our shop, they don't do that. Alright, let me get some fuel line. So I see that this little spring that goes over the throttle rod here, I don't know if the end broke off or it just come unbent, but we need to hook that back up because that helps take a lot of play out of it. And sometimes when these things break, this little spring, it'll make it surge or hunt. So some people don't know that, and they're sitting there messing around with the carburetor trying to get it to stop from surging, and it could be something as simple as just this spring came off or the end of it broke off. So I got it hooked back in there. That's good. I got a good enough bend on it. All right. I got some fuel lines, some fuel clamps. Get this bolted back up. All right, let's fill it up with some dinosaur juice and see what happens. I don't see nothing leaking out. And choke is this way. I got the electric starter hooked up again. Hey! Now she just done died out on me. I got the gas on. Okay, I plugged that low oil shutdown thing in and it shut off, so that's probably bad. Even though it's got plenty of oil in it. And it's surging because that carburetor's got to come off and be put in ultrasonic cleaner. I ran it on partial choke and it smoothed out. Another thing I did was try to put the air filter on there because sometimes that'll restrict the airflow and make it smooth out too, but that wasn't the case. So that carburetor's got to come off and be put in ultrasonic cleaner. I just thought maybe I'd get lucky. But it's putting out power, an electric start works. So underneath this freeze plug right here is a screw, a low speed adjustment. So I'm going to drill that little Welch plug out of there and get that out. And then I'm going to take this all apart and put it in my ultrasonic cleaner. This is a Nicky. This is a Nicky carburetor. And you all know where those Nickies belong. In the scrap barrel. Junk, junk, junk. Belongs in the scrap barrel. Junk, junk, junk. Nicky 6 in the scrap barrel. Junk, junk, junk. But that Walbro float bowl gasket fit on there. So let me take this apart, throw it in ultrasonic cleaner, see if we get that surging to go away. Cooking our dinner. I noticed that this tank grommet is gently weeping. Just like that Beatles song. While my tank bushing gently weeps. So I got a new one. And I got these from Rotary 7730. They come in a pack of 10. And see, they use them on all these different pieces of equipment, and there's even more that's not listed. John Deere's, multiple generators. I remember we did a video probably a few years ago where I show you if you have like a fuel tank that's got a molded fitting on the end of it, and if it was to break off, that you could just drill a hole in the plastic gas tank, put one of these fittings in there, and a you know, a shut-off valve or a metal. They make a metal shut-off valve. And some people in the comment section were just going crazy saying that you can't do that, and you just all this crazy talk. You know, like, what do they think I made this tank bushing on a 3D printer? This is a manufactured part that they use on thousands and thousands of pieces of equipment. You're nuts, you can't do that, no. All these geniuses behind their keyboards. I'm like, I'm just showing you how to fix a fuel tank. If you got a fuel tank on something and you'd like to keep it without having to find one, you can just do that. Alright, we gotta get this one off. And if I break it, I got a metal one I could stick in there. Whoa, we got it. So let me cut it off of there. My tools are everywhere now. Here we go. Cut it off with a pair of side cutters. Maybe you can look up that old video. Go back and read the comments from these knuckleheads. So you want to stick this in first. And then again, with some lubricant, I'm going to use our gel lube. Just got to give it some lubrication so when you go to push it in, it's not so hard. And there's your dinner. Now we just installed a new tank grommet. Alright. Now let me look at this here. Maybe this switch is bad. Maybe this pressure switch is why that low oil shutdown thing isn't working. I don't know if the one on this other generator is any good, but while I'm waiting for that carburetor to cook, I'll go ahead and swap out this pressure switch and see what happens. Alright, I got the carburetor all cleaned from the ultrasonic cleaner. I swapped out that pressure switch from that other junk generator and got the low oil thing hooked up again, so we'll see if that works. And got the gas on, got the battery hooked up. So let's, as Elkskin says, let's fire it up, fire it up, fire it up! Switch on. Well, there you have it. Drug this thing out of that nudist camp and got everything working. I know one thing it didn't have, and that was a bent crank, because I seen plenty of them when I was in there picking this up. So, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you already haven't. Follow me from your nudist camps on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out our web store. We got all kinds of stuff there. You can, buy. Got like this t-shirt, necklace, hat. There might be something there you want. You need to go check it out, because this would look good on you, all this stuff. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo! Maybe I'll put some wheels on it from that junk one too and find somebody to sell it. Hopefully they're wearing clothes.